It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I got my Philadelphia Daily News. I got my New York Post. I mean, this is what it is, dude, when you're in the Northeast. Nothing can get you ready for March Madness and Championship Week. We're now in the middle of Championship Week, or Champ Week, as my friends at ESPN like to call it. And there is a lot crack-a-lackin'. The Pete Sousa Show presented by Slovacics, as always. Can't thank enough our friends at the First National Bank of Central Texas, also Crawford Austin Properties, D1, and Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. The Who Needs Daniel Stark segment, where you would take a team, for instance, like Kansas State. You could say Kansas State right now, they need Daniel Stark big time. And here's why. We're going to start with Daniel Stark. We're going to start with Kansas State, because if we were running this segment every day like we're probably going to do in the future, Who needs Daniel Stark? Well, Kansas State needs Daniel Stark. And here's why. We'll begin with Baylor and Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament. Baylor, huge victory last night. A wire-to-wire type situation, and we haven't seen Baylor look this good. I feel like, honestly, in 2025, I guess we haven't. Even that victory they had against Kansas was a huge comeback. This was a consistent throttling of the opposition, and you had a lot of help, right? You had play off the bench in the form of Jaden Nunn, 18 points. I think he was 4 of 6 from 3. Also, again, count on it like the sun coming up, right? Norshad Umir, the first basketball player ever from Nicaragua, as it was mentioned last night. We were reminded by Roxy Bernstein, goes for another double-double, 12 and 14. Every time you turn around and pull up Baylor basketball on your Instagram or Twitter, there's another feather in the cap for Norshad Umir, whether it's like most double-doubles ever by an active player, most rebounds by an active player. I think he's like in the top 15 for most rebounds ever from a college basketball player. So what Norshad Umir is doing is amazing, and he is powering Baylor now into the postseason. This afternoon, Baylor takes on Texas Tech. I think that's another 7 o'clock tip. Baylor right now a 6.5-point underdog. One of the most important parts of Baylor's victory last night against Kansas State in Kansas City. One, let's start with the most impressive. They held Kansas State to, I think it was, I wrote it down, 3 of 25 from 3-point. Baylor notoriously all season long in their 3-point defense has been some of the worst in the Big 12, if not the NCAA. They have not been able to defend the 3. Now, when you look at the different lineup, you lose Josh Ojamuna, which really, really hurts, right? But in his absence, you've got more Celestine. You now have more Jaden Nunn, and you now have more feisty guys playing D around the 3-point arc. Jeremy Roach is like, you would have never thought that he would be sneaky, but now he's sneaky in a sense where he comes off the bench with all that experience, 2-time captain at Duke, right? Appeared in the Final Four. The guy knows how to win. And yeah, you could say probably not as highly anticipated, or he didn't deliver on the anticipation we have for him this year. Okay, that's fine. But in his inability to be all that we thought he was going to be today or this season, VJ Edgecombe, right? And Jeremy Roach, I have seen, and I've talked to people on the program who he's done a terrific job of deferring to VJ Edgecombe. And again, we see VJ with 19 points last night. And it was an overall team effort. And you beat Kansas State in Kansas City, where they have a lot of fans. And it was a tough loss for Kansas State. I got some video I want to play for you guys. It was the first thing I saw this morning. I didn't see it last night. And, Coleman Hawkins was a 4-year superstar at Illinois. Over the course of his career, he's played 156 games in the NCAA at either Illinois or Baylor or Kansas State, excuse me. He started 112 games. He put his name in for the draft last year, took it out, and signed a $2 million deal with Kansas State. And that $2 million deal was, at the time, released. I mean, it's legit $2 million. There's a lot of guys around the NCAA. You say Jaden Quaintance, I was out in Tempe. I saw him driving a Maybach. Like, how much did he get paid? Well, a lot of times, people that know, right? And maybe they'll tell you. But as a broadcaster, that's not for air. And we're in this weird zone that you don't talk about that stuff. Out of respect for whoever told you, and out of respect for the fact that you don't want to put that on the player, right? Because the more and more you talk about Jaden Quaintance or, Josan Sannon, or some of these other amazing freshmen, VJ Edgecombe, right? You talk about the money he's getting, or maybe the disparity between himself and another sensational freshman, Rob Wright. You can create all kinds of drama. So it's been best, even at our seminar preseason in Charlotte for ESPN College Basketball. It wasn't like, hey, don't talk about the NIL. Don't talk about that these guys are getting paid. We're happy they're getting paid. But if you're going to talk about it, remind people that these guys are using this money for a lot of good stuff, which is true. A lot of these guys are now able to use this money to help their family, come see them play, right? Like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a lot of kids had to play really close to home or if they wanted their parents to see them play. A great story from Corey Williams, who played at Arizona, a dude from Chicago who I've called a bunch of games with at ESPN. Corey's one of the coolest dudes out there, by the way. And if you listen to a full game of him broadcasting, you can kind of glean that pretty quickly. Like, dude, this guy's cool. Yeah, he is that cool. A lot of hip hop knowledge, a lot of culture knowledge, just a real high Q rating with folks that watch Corey broadcast. And he was also a sniper. But Corey talks about the fact that his parents could never come to see him play in Tucson because it was too much money. If they wanted to come see him play, they would usually drive out for the preseason tournament and stay a couple days. He says, with his humility, because Arizona had a tournament where they would play a bunch of bad teams, so they knew that Corey was going to play, and they would get a chance to spend some time with him around the holidays. Corey, by the way, made 4 threes in a semifinal game where Arizona lost to Arkansas, an Arkansas team that would eventually win the championship in '94. Corey was a great player, even though he'll try to fool you into thinking that he wasn't all that great. But it's cool to see these guys use this money for good things. But it's not cool when there's a lot of pressure heaped on these guys because of all the money they're making. And I've got Exhibit A for you, okay? Coleman Hawkins. In June, it was announced through his agent, right? His agent is Nate Conley and another dude, Adam Turner. I think they work for Versus Sports. So they're legit agents. In a world where guys who are car salesmen or, guys that work in insurance or guys that work at a gym and they befriend a player and all of a sudden they're brokering deals between the player and the university or a collective, right? A collective more often than not for an NIL money. These guys are not agents. They're not certified. A lot of times the certification, are you certified by the NFL? But you don't have to be certified to be an agent in the NFL, and you don't have to be certified certainly to be an agent for these guys in college that are trying to finally get some money for the first time. But in this case, these guys, Aaron Turner and Nate Conley, they are agents. They represent Coleman Hawkins. And in June, they made it public. They went to Shams Charania, right? Because these guys have clients in the NBA, so obviously they know Shams. They go to Shams and they say, hey, we got great news. Coleman Hawkins is going to Kansas State. We got him $2 million to play at Kansas State. People are like, wow. Whew. Coleman Hawkins, really? $2 million? Well, Kansas State, they're buying a championship, right? Coleman Hawkins is going to deliver. He had took his name just about a month earlier out of the NBA draft because he had put his name in for the NBA draft. Whatever happened, they didn't see, they didn't get the attention that they wanted to get. So now Coleman Hawkins is going to go to Kansas State. Okay, it's made official through Shams. How much he's making is $2 million all season long. And I had a chance to call a couple Kansas State games. First of all, I can tell you to a man, Coleman Hawkins is an amazing kid. Everyone around that program I talked to was like, the kid is awesome. He's amazing. But he's under a lot of pressure this year. Coach Tang, who's one of the best coaches in the world as far as being able to work with these young men and get them to a place where they can succeed in life and on the basketball court. Coach Tang told us, it was myself and I think it was Corey Williams or maybe Scott Williams. We were talking to him before a game and he said, I'm just trying to get Coleman to be more aggressive. He's so proud of the fact that he's a passer and he's got high basketball IQ. He's constantly trying to show it off. And I wish he would defer a little bit more, I wish he would be a little bit more aggressive. But all this stuff, the more and more that I paid attention to it, you felt like this dude was playing with the weight of the world on his shoulders all season long. And last night, after their loss to Baylor, more than likely Kansas State's last game of the year. Actually, I shouldn't say that. They could end up playing in the NIT. I had them in the NIT last year in their first game against Iowa, their only game because they lost. And there's also that Crown tournament this year that they could actually be a perfect candidate for. And I promise one of these days I will get into the actual logistics and explain to you what the Crown is. But I can tell you that it's an invitation that is mandatory for Power 4 teams that don't make the NCAA tournament, as I understand it. And there's also NIL money in it for the players as they win. But back to the pressure around Coleman Hawkins all season long. It came to a head last night post-game. And I love when players are honest, and I appreciate what he had to say. But I'll let him say it so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's listen to Coleman Hawkins post-game.
Yeah, I feel like I let a lot of people down.
How do I get this on?
I feel like I
All right, now, see, here we go. Let's do it this way. No, we'll do it this way. Okay.
did a poor job of letting people. Yeah, I feel like I let a lot of people down. I feel like I did a poor job of letting people talk about me. It affected my play, and it was evident all year. And I wish I could just go back and block out everything, not for myself, but for the team, so we could have had a.
Dude, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Yeah, I feel like I let a lot of people down. And I feel like I did a poor job of letting people talk about me. It affected my play, and it was evident all year. And I wish I could just go back and block out everything, not for myself, but for the team, so we could have had a.
So that's a couple things there, right? That's a young man. And, you know, what's your definition of young? I mean, he's probably 22 now, but that's a guy who was not anticipating the amount of pressure that was put on him this year. And I'm not talking about pressure within the team. I'm talking about people all over the country knowing that this young college player had a $2 million deal that he was playing on this year. And it was unfortunate because all year long you heard on social media how he was, or not all year long, but at times people would say he was overpaid. Kansas State fans are awesome. Boy, they're rabid too. And I'm not saying they're negative, but they'll let you know. I mean, I've had a couple dust ups with Kansas State fans calling games myself. One was a fun one this year when I called Brandon Hawson the Armadillo Assassin, which actually had some legs and was a lot of fun for the program. Not so much for me for a little bit, but I've eventually leaned in. His nickname is the Amarillo Assassin. But, you know, they let you know about it. And I would imagine for all the fun, positive people that let me know about that, were some negative people. And I'm not just saying specifically to folks in Manhattan, Kansas that root on the Kansas State Wildcats, folks all over the country, right? Like, are you kidding me? $2 million for this guy? Coleman Hawkins is a great kid. He had an amazing career. I think, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to say something stupid. I hope he plays in the NBA, and I hope he plays awesome. As far as I understand, his eligibility is done. Coleman Hawkins went on to say that Coach Tang told them in the locker room after the game that this is a team that's going to win a national championship at some point. And I believe in Coach Tang, and I do not have that out of the picture at all. This was a tough year for Coach Tang. And when you think about, they have one of the best teams, right? With a Coleman Hawkins, with a Doug McDaniel. A lot of folks were really excited about, and you know, you have Paul Gasson, who is unbelievable. And his career is over now. And I think some of the emotion we saw from Coleman Hawkins has a lot to do with his leader, Jerome Tang, because when you have a leader like Coach Tang, you really become so invested. You understand that the leaders love you and you want to perform for them. And I have to admit, I have to believe that Coleman Hawkins is upset that he didn't get to deliver. But I'm going to play this one more time, and I want you guys to listen to what he says about other people and how he let it affect him. One more time.
I feel like I let a lot of people down. I feel like I did a poor job of letting people talk about me and it affect my play.
So there you have it. Like I people talking about me, it affected my play. It's a bummer, dude. It's a total bummer. And you wish Coleman Hawkins the absolute best. The positive of that is I think he got paid $2 million at the end of the day. So he does have the $2 million or he should. And I think he probably learned a lot from Coach Tang this year. And this is probably a lesson he'll be able to use going forward. And in life, when stuff like this happens to you, Coleman Hawkins seems like he's the kind of guy that will be able to turn around and carry that message to other guys.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. We put every machine through 6,000 rigorous tests to guarantee long-lasting performance. With cutting-edge technology and a commitment to energy efficiency, Gevi makes your life easier, greener, and more convenient. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more. That's gevi.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and OrganicHemp.com. Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internix.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now.
And now, back to our show.
All right, happier news. Okay, before we get down into our Big 12 picks, I'm traveling today, so this will be like an abbreviated show. Swingler is actually back to work. I know he was in calling Baylor softball. Maybe he can help us out. Zach's done an amazing job this week, and really this has gone swimmingly. By the way, I got a ring light. See, like this, we're doing a little bit better. I didn't put on any makeup today, so I'm shining. That's why we put on makeup, by the way. We do it for you, not for me, for you. And I also got like a new high-def camera, which you don't need today. Nobody needs to see me that well. But I did get it just for when I'm on the road. I'm trying to get my SHIT together because we continue to do these shows from the road, and I'm like, oh, is this going to work? Is that going to work? And then I see like Michelle Beadle doing the show Run It Back, or her Sirius show, from a hotel room like 3 out of 5 days a week. And it looks like, she's in NBC Studios. So I know I can do better, and I'm working on it. All right. I'll never look like Michelle Beadle, though. I promise you that. So the Big 12 boys, should I say our Big 12 buddies, Texas and Oklahoma. They're our friends. They're our buddies. I want to see them do well. I love Rodney Terry, and I love Porter Moser. And guess what? If I were folks around Sooner Nation, Boomer Sooner, I would be excited because something magical's happened. They beat Georgia last night, a huge upset win. And that win now has them in the, let's take a look, by the way, at Joey brackets here. So you can see right now, I'm going to have to lean in. Last four in Oklahoma. That's where my little arrow is right there. Okay. This comes after their win yesterday against Georgia. First four out, Texas, Rodney Terry. You got some work to do, Hot Rod. All right. So they have another game today. Texas plays Texas A&M at 3:30. They're going to be another underdog. Okay. OU, they play later on. And they play Kentucky, and they're a 6.5 point underdog. So another huge day for former buddies of the Big 12. Can Texas win? Rodney Terry has to. He has to. And you know how the situation gets in Austin because of the dramatic resources you have, right, at that school. So Rodney Terry is going to need to continue to win to solidify a spot in the NCAA tournament and to hang on to job security. I cheer for Rodney like my life depends on it because he and Lance Blanks were as close as it gets. And Lance Blanks was an entree for me into a career with ESPN, working with Lance, and I learned a lot from him. He passed away about 2 years ago, coming up this April or May. And man, what a shitty May that was. Lance died on like May 5th, around there, and then my brother Kevin died like later that month. So that was crazy. I was home last night doing a little reminiscent, thinking about my brother, which is cool because when I come home, I get to like celebrate him and look at pictures. The guy packed 100 years into 52 years of life. So both of those guys, obviously my brother Kevin, way more so, dramatic impact on me. But when I think of Rodney Terry, I think about Lance. So, and those two were as close as it could get. And it was really cool being around Lance that season when Rodney was the interim after Beard left, because Lance didn't make it super public how close he was with Rodney. But like Lance and I did an Oklahoma-Texas game when both teams were still in the Big 12. That was one of my first games, first bigger games in the Big 12. And after the game, I remember Lance was like hanging around and he's like, I'm going to go talk to Rodney. And then I worked like 4 or 5 more games with Lance that year, and I got to learn like Rodney and he were tight. And he was sort of like counseling Rodney through this whole situation. Remember, Lance was a general manager for the Phoenix Suns, was a first-round draft pick of the Detroit Pistons, and a legend at Texas. So if there was a guy that could help Rodney along the way through that process, it was Lance. And ultimately they won out, and Rodney got the big deal, the big contract. And I know that Rodney carries a piece of Lance with him today. So if you weren't rooting for Texas today before that, your ass better be now. So we're pulling for Rodney today at 2:30 when they play Texas A&M, hoping that he can solidify a spot in the NCAA. Oklahoma winning, beating Georgia. Now they have Kentucky tonight. But here's something that happened after the game. We'll go back to Joe Lenardi in a second. I want to get
special
this.
Toby Keith shoes, and what an apropos do for.
I got to start over again, man. This, so Porter has a special. First of all, if you know Porter Mosier, right? He took Loyola Chicago to the Final Four, right, in 2018, and then he got him back to the Sweet 16, I think, or the Elite 8, like 2 years later. Okay, this is a program that's like, a mid-major afterthought. But Porter had them playing the most elite level of basketball you can possibly play. So he gets the job at Oklahoma. They have always started off hot and always gotten into conference play and run into trouble. This is the year for him in the SEC where people are saying, oh, like the bubble's weak, Porter and Oklahoma only won 4 conference games or whatever it was, but it wasn't more than 5. But they're still on the bubble right now. Like we said, Joey Brackets has them in. But if you want a little luck and you want to get behind Porter, first of all, I have not seen him wear a suit and tie in my memory since he was coaching at Loyola Chicago. So something could be happening there, right? Like all I'm saying, something could be happening. And then we get this little nugget after the game.
told me about these shoes that you wore, hoping that these Toby Keith shoes would bring you good luck. You going to wear them all week, Coach?
I don't know. But Toby Keith meant so much to Sooner Nation, and we're in Nashville, and these are my special Toby Keith shoes, and what an apropos do for a guy that meant so much to Sooner Nation, and Toby Keith right here in Nashville.
Well, hopefully they continue to bring you luck. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Easy guy to like. I will tell you that right now. Porter Moser is the man. So pulling for him again today. These are like, people I just have some skin in the game with, because he was always so cool to me when, I'm friends with John Gallagher, who, by the way, Johnny Gal and Manhattan have a huge game tonight, right? In the Metro Atlantic Conference tournament in Atlantic City. I think they play Wagner in the semifinals, but we got to get Johnny Gal to the NCAA tournament. If you remember, when he was the head coach at Hartford, he took him to the tournament and they played Baylor. That was the year that Baylor won it all. And Johnny Gal is just like a character you need. Well, the more you guys learn about John Gallagher, trust me, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I understand.
We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsors. This is Rogue Media Network.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Angles 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit angles90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. Using advanced tech fabrics that are 100% waterproof, UV tear, and abrasion-resistant, we ensure lasting durability with hand-sewn double-stitch seams. Our commitment to quality, precision engineering, and customizable options is unmatched. With vertically integrated operations and express shipping, we deliver premier protection at affordable prices. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit OpenGoalUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Chapellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chapellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
And now, back to our show.
Let's wrap it up with Big 12 picks again and a couple of nuggets before we leave. Big 12 picks, okay? First game of the slate today. This is so much fun, by the way. Are you guys not loving this? First game of the slate. Iowa State, a 3.5-point favorite against BYU. I like Iowa State. BYU beat Iowa State at home. I think Iowa State is a better team. I think BYU will start to come back down to earth like they do this time of year every year, and I think it starts today. Richie Saunders is great. Dallin Hall is great. Obviously, Kevin Young has shown. The one hole you could poke in my theory is that we've never seen a BYU team with Kevin Young in March. So I could be standing corrected here in a few hours, but right now I like Iowa State. Second game of the day, Colorado coming off an amazing upset against Houston. Colorado is amazing upset against West Virginia. They are a 17.5-point underdog. Colorado did not win a conference game in the Big 12 until the very end of February. I know because I was there. And it was a home game, and they never won any games on the road. Now they've won 2 on a neutral floor. They beat UConn on a neutral floor earlier this year. So maybe there's something about the neutral floor for the Buffs and Tad Boyle. But I don't know, man. 17.5, that's a lot of points. I'll say Colorado covers, but it's going to be close. And I do that because I want to be able to root for the underdog. Baylor and Texas Tech. Texas Tech, a 6.5-point favorite. After last night's showing and what Baylor is showing me, I like Baylor in that game. One of the things that Scott Drew told me a couple weeks ago and is starting to come to fruition is that his team could gain momentum playing together. A bunch of guys who are undersized and are all kind of having to rally together to find a way to play together and to develop chemistry. They've developed that chemistry over the past few weeks here. And everybody's been healthy. Everybody's been playing together. And when I say everybody's been healthy, I mean like the group that they have. Not like pregame last night when you hear Marino Dubravicic has a shoulder injury. And I'm like, Marino Dubravicic at like 70%? How much are we going to see of him? We didn't see too much, but just enough. And the thing about Marino is you just don't expect him to – there was no plan for him in place to play this year. But there are plans for him at Baylor for sure. So we look forward to a bright future from him, but it certainly wasn't something we thought would happen in the immediate future. So that I like Baylor in that game. And then Arizona, a 2.5-point favorite against Kansas late night. Folks, we got it right late night with UCF covering against Kansas. They pushed them to overtime. By the way, yesterday, again, we were 2-2. So we are now 4-4 in the tournament. And so that's, you know, hey, what are you going to do? That's why they call it risky. Can't. And I'm not putting any money on these games, by the way. We're having fun. We're picking. We need to get like a FanDuel sponsorship here. Because, you know, oh, by the way, just to wrap that up, I know I'm like all over the place, but that was Kansas State and Coleman Hawkins. They need Daniel Stark. Because to no fault of his own, Coleman Hawkins was put in a terrible position this year, thanks to his agents who had to put out that he was getting paid $2 million. So thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, so those are the picks for today. I wanted to, Colorado, Houston. Keep an eye out for this dude. This was something I slipped into the game I had with Scott Williams, and I believe this, and it was spur of the moment. I didn't plan it out, but I'm looking at this guy all game long. This is the third time I had Colorado. I'm like, who does Elijah Malone look like? This guy's like feathery touch around the hoop. He doesn't make it look like easy per se, but he finds a way. You know, it's not like poetry in motion, but the dude gets it done. A small college player last year was a player of the year, I think at Grace College on the Division II level, and now he's been dominating. Dominating's pushing it, but playing really well in the Big 12 this past week. All right, ready?
Role. That's an extension of Graham McCausland on the court.
Right, and that's winning basketball. Guys being able to adjust, maybe to play a different role than they may have been accustomed to in years past.
Oh, Elijah Malone. He may look like a young Sinbad, but there's nothing funny about that.
That's a good comparison, but I tell you what, this kid can play down on that block. I said that, you know, he's got that big.
You want to do it one more time? All right.
Understand his role. That's an extension of Graham McCausland on the court.
Right, and that's winning basketball. Guys being able to adjust, maybe to play a different role than they may have been accustomed to in years past.
Oh, Elijah Malone. He may look like a young Sinbad, but there's nothing funny about that.
That's a good comparison, but I tell you what, this kid can play down on that block.
All right. I mean, am I pushing it? As always. But, you know, what are you going to do? All right. I think that'll wrap it up for today. One more thing. I will leave you with this because we got good response on social media. Oh, okay. I want you to do this for me. When you subscribe to the show, click the alert bell, like that ringing thing, because I want to start doing like reaction stuff, but I don't want to do it for like 4 people. So if you click the alert thing, If White Lotus ends and I want to talk about White Lotus, I'm about to talk about White Lotus. So if you have no interest, just don't watch. But if I'm talking about Baylor winning a thriller in the Big 12 tonight, you might want to watch. Could you imagine if I go head to head with Cam and Locked On Baylor? I'm having a lot of fun today. This is good. I prepared these clips early by myself. And it's easier than I thought. All right, last one. This is just a way to end the show because this is very real. And yesterday, again, my mom complained about this. Listen up. This is a clip from yesterday's show. I'm like, oh, he's amazing. His job, Why do I keep Hold on. I screwed it up. I'm like, look, I'm getting him too. Oh, boy. At this point, I think we just power through it. All right, hold on. All right, we got to start over again. That's the volume. Okay. So I told you yesterday, my mom was complaining about Adam Schefter. Okay, here you go. My mom is not a huge sports fan, but she has the ESPN app and gets the ESPN alerts. Well, if you have those ESPN alerts, you are getting a lot of Adam Schefter. Now, look, someday, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all be having these problems like Adam Schefter has right now, that he is so good at his job that he is everywhere. But he has been blowing up everyone's phone with all of these transactions. Like my mom does not care that Laramie Tunsil got traded. So she doesn't need like the 5 alerts about it. And guess who hears about it? Me. Who is this? Do you know this Adam Schefter? My mom had a stroke. She's doing great, by the way. Again, downstairs working with the occupational therapist right now. Who's this Adam Schefter? I'm like, oh, he's amazing. His job, Why do I keep getting those alerts? I'm like, look, I'm getting them too. At this point, I think we just power through it. And wouldn't you know, yesterday, we were driving around doing like shopping and stuff, and another alert from Adam Schefter. She said, if you ever meet him, tell him I hate him. I was like, Mom, that's a little extreme. All right, that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we're going to start at like 10:30 Central Time. We'll be live because we got to tape the Inside the 12 show from Kansas City at 9 a.m. From the Big 12. I'm not going to be there, though. King McClure will be there. And so I'll try to get some information from that and share it with you guys. But yeah, man, enjoy the basketball today, man. It starts early with Iowa State, BYU, then Colorado, Houston, Baylor, of course, tangoing with Texas Tech, more McCaslin and Scott Drew. You got to love that. And then Arizona and Kansas late night, keeping it Big 12 centric. On the home front here, I'm a Villanova guy. Villanova beat Seton Hall last night. I would say tonight it's do or die for their coach, Kyle Neptune, because he's just had a rough stretch since taking over for Jay Wright. I don't know how you fill those shoes. I'm sure he's done his best, but unfortunately, like the production hasn't been there. The end result hasn't been there. But if they win tonight, they beat UConn, they'll probably be in the tournament. So, yeah, man, it's that time of year. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. Thank you so much for watching today. We will check you out mañana, and we'll be back in Texas. We'll see you.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning. So we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internix.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. We